Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 483. Xiao Tianye was born. At this moment, everyone in the inner city of Xiao clan was looking at this place. The natural phenomenon just now seemed to have grown eyes. It only happened in the sky above the inner city. No one could sense it at all. Xiao Tianye. The first elder's eyes paused when he saw the mysterious man who had appeared from the spirit stone. He subconsciously blurted out. As soon as the words left his mouth, it instantly drew the attention of all the elders. Everyone's facial expression changed dramatically. Obviously, they also knew that the old ancestor of Xiao clan had named the mysterious spirit stone Xiao Tianye. Whoosh! The thick clouds dispersed, and only now did everyone see the appearance of the mysterious man. The young man had thick black hair that draped over his shoulders, and he had a tall and slender body. He had smooth muscles, and his head was hanging low. It was impossible to see the face of the young man clearly. The old ancestor is indeed far-sighted. There is actually a life form within this spirit stone. Upon seeing the mysterious black-haired young man, the yellow-robed middle-aged man, Xiao Kun, couldn't help but be delighted. Just now, he had tried to use the aura of a monic cultivation to test the former, but it didn't affect him in the slightest. Obviously, the former wasn't an ordinary person. But what about the Golden Emperor Phoenix Heavenly Flame? Xiao Huan scratched his head and muttered to himself. It should have been absorbed by him, but it doesn't matter. As long as it can be used by the Xiao clan, the Golden Emperor Phoenix Heavenly Flame can be absorbed by anyone. The purple-dressed girl who spoke earlier lightly smiled. Her charming face had a beauty that could topple cities and topple countries. Since it's the name given by the old ancestor, let's call him Xiao Tianye. I wonder how strong this guy is. Another longtime elder of Xiao clan spoke with a hint of joy in his voice. His strength must be extraordinary to be valued by the old ancestor. In fact, he isn't any weaker than that tyrant heavenly king of Shang clan. An elder beside him spoke with extreme joy. It was truly bizarre to be born from a wondrous rock that had existed for hundreds of thousands of years. It had never been seen in the history of the entire world. This young man named Xiao Tianye would certainly become the greatest trump card of Xiao clan in the future. While the elders were talking, Xiaoyan and Xiao Yi stood side by side. The latter looked at the young man who didn't make any moves in the air with a surprised expression. Although he had heard the rumors about Xiao Tianye, he still couldn't believe that a person would jump out of the rock. Compared to Xiao Yi, Xiaoyan was much calmer. His eyes were fixed on Xiao Tianye. He couldn't even sense any ki from the latter's body. Sun Wukong, who jumped out from the rock. Xiaoyan's heart skipped a beat. He could only smile bitterly. Such a scene was too strange. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed it. Why are you not moving? After waiting for a long time, they saw that Xiao Tianye was still in the same state as before. The elders couldn't help but be stunned. Xiao Kun moved his body, wanting to see what was going on. This was the headquarters of Xiao clan. With so many elders here, he wasn't afraid of any accidents. Xiao Kun's hand had yet to touch the black-haired young man's body when the latter suddenly raised his head. A trace of an indescribable luster flashed within his pitch-black eyes, and then it flashed and vanished. Replacing it was ice that seemed like it would never melt for 10,000 years. There was nothing unusual about his appearance at all. The only thing that was different from the others was the emotionless indifference on his face. This indifference was far from what everyone had seen before. It was as if he was shuttling back and forth through time. An eternal killing intent. Woong. The black-haired man suddenly widened his eyes. The endless killing intent that was revealed in his eyes caused Xiao Kun's heart to inexplicably turn cold, and his movements paused slightly as well. Taking advantage of this gap, the black-haired man's figure flashed. He seemed to have stepped on a bolt of lightning and disappeared. Oh, seeing that Xiao Tianye had disappeared, all the elders present were stunned. For a moment, they had no idea where Xiao Tianye had gone. There wasn't a trace of ki coming out from Xiao Tianye's body. Even someone as strong as them couldn't sense it with just their senses. While the others were looking at each other in dismay, the Great Elder's facial expression suddenly changed. His strength was the strongest amongst them. His mastery of spatial force had already reached perfection. In an instant, he sensed a slight vibration in the spatial zone. Shaoyan, behind you. When the Great Elder's voice rang out, Shaoyan's facial expression changed drastically. Almost subconsciously, his body leaned forward. At the same time, the spatial zone behind him suddenly split open. The black-haired young man silently extended his palm and violently crushed the air in the spatial zone where Shaoyan was standing. Swoosh! The many elders had already reacted the moment the black-haired young man appeared. In the blink of an eye, they attacked together. Endless Origin Kiss smashed over and shattered the space that the black-haired young man was hiding in, causing him to be unable to hide. This brat is actually well versed in the Tao of space. Looks like his future achievements will be at least at the Heavenly Sovereign. Looking at the expressionless face of Xiao Tianye, Xiao Huan slowly descended from the sky and clicked his tongue in wonder. Shaoyan looked at Xiao Tianye, who was surrounded by many elders, with a solemn expression. A trace of fear emerged in his heart. What kind of strength did this guy have? Why did he attack him the moment he appeared? He. A strange smile suddenly emerged on Xiao Tianye's face as he faced the encirclement of the strongest group from the Xiao clan. His cold eyes swept across the many elders. After which, he gently smiled and extended his hand. The origin key in his hand whistled and transformed into a black robe that wrapped around his body. Seeing Xiao Tianye's action, including the Great Elder, everyone was stunned. What? This guy had adapted to the life of humans so quickly. Leave that person to me. Pointing his finger at Shaoyan, Xiao Tianye suddenly spoke in a stiff voice, like numerous sharp blades, stabbing towards the minds of everyone present. He can actually talk. A relatively young elder was slightly stunned. He took a deep breath and his eyes were filled with disbelief. A mysterious man who had just jumped out of the rock could actually speak human language. What kind of monster was this? Even if it was a holy beast with the holy beast bloodline, it would still take a few days of practice before it could speak the human language after it transformed into a human. What are you doing? Hearing this, although the Great Elder was surprised, he still spoke in a deep voice. What happened today was something that was hard to imagine even in his entire life. When they heard Xiao Tianye's words, everyone, including Shaoyan, was stunned. He has something good on him. Xiao Tianye turned his head around. Facing so many elders, there wasn't the slightest fear on his face, as if he was facing a group of insignificant opponents. It's not difficult to hand him over, but you were picked up by the old ancestor of Xiao clan. He gave you your name and raised you for such a long time. You have to stay in Xiao clan in the future and contribute to Xiao clan. Without waiting for the Great Elder to speak, the voice of the lady in purple slowly sounded. She looked at Xiao Tianye and spoke in a cold voice. The Great Elder's facial expression changed slightly. Just as he was about to speak, Xiao Tianye's cold voice resounded. Xiao clan. Who do you think you are? You want me to help you? You are courting death. Before he finished his words, Xiao Tianye's body flashed. With a strange footstep, he dodged the few elders who were blocking him. Then, he suddenly rushed towards Shaoyan. Arrogant. Xiao Huan immediately became furious. He suddenly attacked. Surging origin kiss surged out and turned into a palm that was dozens of feet in size. It violently pressed down on Xiao Tianye. In an instant, the origin key whistled and the space shattered. The strength of the Heavenly Sovereign expert could be seen from this. Old bastard. Seeing Xiao Huan's attack, a gloomy expression emerged on Xiao Tianye's face. With a furious shout, he turned his body in the air and dodged Xiao Huan's attack. You actually managed to dodge it, but let me tell you, this is the inner city of Xiao clan. Even if you're a heavenly sovereign, you can forget about getting out of here. Xiao Huan retracted his hand. His facial expression was cold, and his red beard was fluttering in anger. What a joke. Xiao Tianye smiled coldly when he heard this. He glanced at Xiaoyan, and after a moment of hesitation, he didn't attack. He looked at the elders of Xiao clan with a cold gaze, and his cold voice resounded in everyone's ears. I want to leave. No one can stop me. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.